Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Azilani, binti Muhammad Sabri.
My name is Muhammad Aiman bin Mazlan.
Hi, I'm Nur Safia binti Azman.
My name is Amir Azhar bin Muhammad Nawaf.
My name is Nur Adila Balkis binti Ahmad Sabri from AP2293B.
From MP2293B.
AP2293B.
And in this video, we will be presenting on our Building Pathology 2 report, which cover the topic on Comprehensive Condition Survey. So in this report, it covered 3 parts, which is Part A, Executive Summary, Part B, Main Report, and Part C, Appendix. So this assignment has instructed to do survey works on a client house. The client, Siti Nur Azila binti Muhammad Noor, agreed and appointed surveyors to do an inspection on property located at number 347, Lorong Angsana 1/6, Taman Pinggiran Golf, 70,400 Senawang, Negeri Sembilan. So our case study building is a terrace double-story house, which is the intermediate building, and this building is about 22 years of age and costs about 160,000. This building includes 5 bedroom and 3 bathroom. The type of property for this residential building is freehold. These are some of the surrounding area for the building. The company that involved is AASAA or Asa Survey Sandra Berhad, that is based in Wilayah Persekutuan, Kuala Lumpur. This company was registered on May 26, 2009 and 100% owned by the Bumiputra.
These are the example of appointment letter and acceptance letter for the building surveyor. The surveyor need to prepare a condition survey report of the cluster property. All the permission letters were provided and signed by the owner before the company proceed to the inspection works as evidence for the approval. The surveyor declaration and copy of inspection certificate are also provided in this report. In any survey works, there will be some limitation of inspection that involved. So this is the limitation of inspection for the survey works. Some of the limitation is due to the privacy, safety, and also the fixed structure. For accessibility, the surveyor has complete survey both external and internal. The surveyor have not opened or inspect those parts or structure which were not exposed or are inaccessible. In obstruction during the inspection, including the is limited to the furniture, feature, fittings, or equipment have not moved by the surveyors. This report has not covered its service installation such as electric, water, and drainage installation. This report is based on the visual inspection only.
In building condition assessment, it consists of external condition, fabric component, and also services. Based on the data having collected, the overall building rating is fair. 186 are the total marks with 32 totals of defect. So, the total score is 5.81. This is the schedules of building condition is OBC from our survey work in this building. For case study defect analysis, this describes the analysis that illustrate the frequency and or percentage concern the defects in schedules of building conditions. Besides, it's presented in the forms of pie chart and bar chart. The overall defects finding at the case study located at Negeri Sembilan are analyzed and presented in schedules of building condition SOBC. So based on pie chart percentage of defects, the total defects found at the house unit No 347 Lorong Angsana 1/6 is 32. The defects consist of rusty, chipping, dampness, stain mark, misalignment, cracks, blistering, hole, water stain, insect attack, peeling, broken, discoloration, improper installations, malfunction, saggings, and gap. Next, this is the bar chart for 3 major defects that occur at the chosen property. Based on the bar chart, it shows 3 major defects occur at the case study. 3 major defects are crack with 16% and peeling also with 60% that consists of peeling paint and peeling wallpaper, and malfunction with 10%. Therefore, the maintenance and repair work should be carried out and focus on these 3 major defects.
These are some of the examples of major defects that occur in this building. Defect sheet number 10, which is the peeling of wallpaper. This defect is caused by wear and tear. It also due to humidity, as moisture behind wallpaper can weaken the seal. The symptom that can be identified is paint can be seen through, and it may lead to more peeling in the area. It also will reduce the aesthetic value of the building. The condition for this defect is 3, which is a major repair or replacement. And the priority is 1, functional, only cosmetic defect. So the building rating for this defect is good. The remedies are peel the wallpaper away, scrape away as much of the glues with putty knife, rinse the wall with warm water to remove any lingering gel stripper, and install a new wallpaper. Okay, next, defect sheet number 14, which is a dampness on plaster ceiling. This is due to leaking of the roof. The symptoms that can be seen are dampness marks occur on the plaster ceiling due to leaking at the plaster ceilings. Cracks also appears on the plaster ceilings. This might lead to dampness mark that will spread to bigger size and also can affect to the structural strength of the building. The remedies for this defect is fix the leak that causes the dampness on ceiling and install the new ceiling panel. Lastly, from the defect sheet number 22, the defect description for this defect is cracks on wall joint. This is due to different mixture of concrete and also expand and shrinkage of the concrete. It can be identified by vertical cracks that appears on wall joint. For prognosis, crack will be getting bigger and cannot support pressure from the upper. So, the remedies work for this defect is: first, scrape all existing paints from the plaster surfaces, wash and repair all cracks and the other defective surfaces. Number 2, wages on rubbing the old wall joints and pack with a mortar cement. Number 3, prepare surface and apply a layer of cement-based paint on concrete surfaces. Through our inspection, there are 12 defects was considered at fair condition, and the defect should be solved with immediate action, which might become worse if it is left unattended over a period of time. Thus, the defect will be weaken the strength of the building and might expose the occupants towards the danger and fatality.
So, this is the defect indication plan for the survey works. After all the inspection works had been done, defect rectification cost was made for the client. Costing works were made based on JKR, that is, Jadual Kadar Harga, that is, can be issued just by JKR and referred to them. These are some of the examples of defect rectification costs of these survey works. Costing for defect number 1, which is rusty on the steel gate, takes about RM9.94. This is because it consists the use of material that is needed in rusty gate. For defect number 2, 9, 22 and 26 use the same defect rectification cost because they use the same method in their remedial works. For overall summary of the costing, it takes about RM2,733.63 for the total cost of the remedial works. So based on our inspection at the case study, overall building rating of this house or the building is fair condition. The total defects of this building are 32 and the total metric is 186, and that make the total score of this building is 5.81. Major repair that should be done in this case study is repaint work. Therefore, based on the inspection, we can conclude and recommend the owner of this building to repaint those elements and structures that affected in the building, because the major defects in this building that have been found is rusting and peeling of paint. The type of defect that affected the element that need major repaint are crack and peeling, as by the defect sheets were at 16% from the total of the defect sheet. In a nutshell, from our inspection, we can conclude that this building needs immediate repair and organized maintenance schedule. This is because to ensure the safety of the occupants and sustain the performance of the building in a long period. That is all from us. Thank you.